Hello friends, this is another lecture on project management. In this lecture, we will study about CPM, critical path method, how to compute this CPM. So, to compute this CPM, we require some identification of the activities. And for this, we have to consider ij equals to, that is tail event I and head event j. So, the first is EI, capital EI, which is earliest time of an event I. LI is the latest time of an event I. ESIJ, earliest start time of an activity IJ. LSIJ, latest start time. EFIJ, earliest finish time. LFIJ, latest finish time of an activity IJ. It is the latest possible time by which an activity Ij must finish without affecting the total project time. It is the latest occurrence time of an event J at which the activity Ij terminated, and the Tij is equals to duration of an activity, that is the total complete duration to complete a project. An activity can start only when all its preceding activities have finished. That is, if all preceding activities have completed, then we can start the next activity, otherwise we cannot start the next activity. These times are calculated by the two methods. One is forward pass method and the another one is backward pass method. Forward pass method is for earliest event time and the backward pass method is for latest allowable event time. So here we are considering forward pass method, that is for earliest event time. Here the calculation begins from the start event 1 and passes through the event in increasing order of number from 1 move to the end event of the network of the project. Here we can calculate only ESIJ, EFIJ, EI and EFIJ. The steps are: assume the earliest occurrence time of initial event 1, starting activities having no predecessor activity equals to 0. So, because there are no preceding activity for this path, so starting E1 may be equals to 0. Now we have to calculate ESIJ, ES1J, and it is equals to E1 equals to 0, and calculate EFIJ from tail event, and EFIJ is equals to ESIJ plus T1J is equals to E1 plus T1J, that is T1J, because E1 is equals to 0 for this. Now proceed step 1 for next to event 1, that is calculate ES2J is equals to E2, which is equals to E1 plus T12. EF2J equals to ES2IJ plus T2J equals to E2 plus T2J. Repeat this entire process in increasing order. Then earliest event time of event capital N is equals to En is equals to maximum small e plus Ten, where small e is the collection of all preceding events of event capital N. That is, small e is the collection of tail event of all activities that terminated at event capital N. Now, moving on to the backward pass method for latest allowable event time. Here the calculation begins from the final event capital N, that is the calculation events from the last, that is if this is a float, suppose if this is a this is suppose last. So here in forward we start calculation from left to right, and in the backward direction for the backward condition we start calculation from the right to left, that is from the end to first. So here we start in the decreasing order of number from capital N move to the initial start event 1 to the network of the project. Here we calculate the latest finish and latest start time for each activity, that is LFIJ and LSIJ. Number 2, the latest occurrence time of an event Li, and the number 3, the latest finish time of the entire project. So here some steps are considered. The step 1, take the latest occurrence time of last event capital N equal to the earliest occurrence time En, that is Ln is equals to En, and if target time say capital T for the completion of the project given, then take Ln equals to T. If target time is not given, then we can take Ln equals to En, and if target time is given, then we can consider Ln equals to capital T. Process backward to the next event I is less than N, that is from the preceding event, and calculate LFIN, which is equals to Ln or equals to En, that is, and calculate LSIN, which is equals to LFIN minus TIN. Now calculate LFN minus 1, that is next element. Ln equals Ln minus Tn minus 1n, and LSIN equals to Ln minus 1 minus Tn minus 1. Proceed above process in backward order through n minus 1, n minus 2, and so on to reach the start event 1, and L1 is equals to minimum S, that is Ls minus T1s, where S is the collection of all successor events. Now there is a note. If Ln is equals to En, that is starting event of the backward pass method is equals to the En, that is the end event of the forward pass method, then we always take L1 is equals to E1, which is equals to 0. Now moving on to the floats. The floats of an activity has the same significance as the slack of events. The float corresponds to the activity, hence the CPM, and the slack corresponds to the events, and hence it is for the part. There are generally 3 types of floats: total float, free float, and independent float. The total float of an activity is defined as the amount of time by which the completion of the activity could be delayed beyond its earliest expected completion time without affecting the overall project duration time. That is, the total float of an activity is equal to the difference of its latest and earliest start time or the difference of its latest and earliest finish time, and it is defined as TFIJ equals to Lj minus EI minus Tij or Lsij minus ESij. For the free float, this is an activity defined as the amount of time by which the completion of the activity can be delayed beyond the earliest finish time without affecting the earliest start of immediate succeeding activities. It is defined by assuming that all activities start as early as possible. Duration, time, or we can say the free float of an activity is equal to the difference between the earliest start time for the head event and the earliest completion time of the activity under consideration. That is, FFIJ is equals to EJ minus EI plus TIJ or EJ minus EFIJ. Now moving on to the independent float. This is based on the assumption that the predecessor event occurs as its latest possible time and the successor events at its earliest possible time. The independent float of an activity can be defined as the amount of time by which the start of the activity can be delayed without affecting the earliest start time of any immediate succeeding activities, assuming that the preceding activity had finished and its latest finish time. The independent float of an activity is denoted by IFIJ, and this is equals to EJ minus Li plus Tij. Now there are two note on this. If independent float is less than 0, that is, if the value of independent float is negative, then it is considered as 0. The difference between total float and free float is known as interference float. This is known as interference float. Now, inequality relation between floats of an activity, that is total float, free float and independent float, and it is always total float is greater than equals to free float and which is greater than equals to independent float. Event slack, it is defined as the difference between its latest and earliest occurrence time. That is, if we are considering head event slack, then it is equals to Lj minus Ej, and if we are considering tail event slack, then it is equals to Li minus Ei. So critical event, an event with zero slack time is known as critical event. That is, if Li minus Ei is equals to, then Li equals to Ei. Critical activity. In a network diagram, an activity is called critical activity if a delay in its start will cause further delay in the project completion time. इसको ऐसे समझिए जैसे एक ट्रेन है, अगर वो डिले होना शुरू हो जाए किसी एक प्लेस से, तो क्या होगा, उसकी सक्सीडिंग जितनी भी ट्रेन होंगी उसके बाद वाली, वो भी उसकी वजह से डिले होनी शुरू हो जाएंगी उस पर्टिकुलर पाथ पर. So for this total float time is 0. That is, Ej minus Ei equals to Lj minus Li, which is equals to Tij. Critical path. This is the continuous chain of critical activities from start event to the last event in the network diagram and is called the critical path. It is the longest path starting from the first event to the last event and is shown by thick line or double line in the network diagram. Total project time, the sum of individual time duration of all critical activities on the critical path called total project time. If we add all the individual time duration of a critical activity, then the resultant time is known as total project time, and it is the minimum time required to complete the project. Now, procedure of determining a critical path. How to determine a critical path? To determine a critical path, it includes some steps. The first step is draw the network diagram of the given project and write the individual time duration of each activity above the arrow representing the activity. Number 2, calculate earliest start time of each event taken in increasing order by forward pass method and take the earliest start time or start event 1, that is E1 is equals to 0. Then calculate the latest start time of each event taken in decreasing order by backward pass method and take latest start time ln equals to en or capital T. That is, if capital T is given, then we have to take it capital T, otherwise it is equals to en. Capital T means project completion time if it is already given. Now calculate earliest finish time and latest finish time of all the activities. Also determine total float, free float and independent float for each activity. Then identify critical activity which satisfies the three conditions Ei equals to Li, Ej equals to Lj and Ej minus Ei is equals to Lj minus Li, which is equals to Tij, and connect the critical activity without break from the start event to end event to get critical path and make it by double lines or thick arrows so that we can identify that this is a critical path of the given activities, and then calculate the total projected time which is equals to En. Capital N is the last event. Here we have to note that the slack of each node on the critical path is always 0. The example based on this entire discussion will take or will include in the next lecture, because if I include an example in this lecture, then this lecture will be very lengthy. So hope you understand the content of this particular lecture. If you like this lecture, then like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.